Hello, in this presentation we'll be using a pair of dial calipers to measure both the inside and outside dimensions of a part. After this presentation, you will be able to read a pair of dial calipers, identify the parts of a dial caliper, as well as use digital calipers. Here is an example of the dial calipers. To start, we're going to identify each part of the caliper. Starting from the left, we have our jaws. So this is our exterior jaw, this is our interior jaw. Moving further over to the right, here is our dial. Below the dial is our dial lock. The dial lock is used to calibrate the dial. Going over further, we have our rule scale. So this particular set of calipers is capable of reading things up to 6 inches in length. Above this, we have our rule lock. This is used to lock the measurement once we have the measurement taken. Under this, we have our thumb rest. The thumb rest is used to make quick adjustments to the calipers. Next to the thumb rest is the thumb wheel. The thumb wheel is used for more refined measurements. You'll use these once you're pretty close, and you can basically rock this back and forth to confirm that you have the proper measurement. The last part is the part that comes out right here. When you physically extend, this is another piece that you can use for taking depth readings. So you can use this part if you want to measure how deep something is. So that is the pieces and parts of the dial caliper. When using a set of dial calipers, the first step is to physically make sure that they're clean. So I'll take a lint-free cloth and I'll wipe down the jaws. Once the jaws are confirmed clean, I'll close the dial calipers. Once the dial calipers are closed, I take a reading off of the dial, and we can see that the needle is reading 0.001. So to calibrate these, I take the thumb wheel at the bottom and I loosen it. I rotate my dial so my needle points at 0. And I take my thumb wheel and I snug it back down, being sure not to over tighten. Next, I'll open the jaws again and then close them to confirm that my needle goes back to the 0 point. Once this is done, we are ready to take our first measurement. Now that we have confirmed the 0 of our dial calipers, it's time to take our first measurement. We're going to start by opening our dial calipers up to a diameter larger than the part that we're attempting to measure, somewhere around 4 inches for this example. Next, we're going to take our thumb wheel and we're going to bring it to where it's fairly close to the ends of the part. Once it's towards the end, I'm going to change over to my thumb wheel and I'm going to basically use my thumb wheel to bring that part in. I'm going to confirm that my calipers are parallel to the part and are not twisted or anything like that. So once I've got that, I can physically take the measurement of this part. So looking at this, first I'm going to do is I'm going to read these, take my rule, and it's going to be 3 is my first number. Next, I'm going to look at this scale. So it goes 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually see the 6, but we can't see the 6th line. So we're actually going to say it's a 5 on this one. So this one starts with 3.5. Next, we're going to look at our dial, and our dial on this one is in 0.001 increments. So each dash is 0.001. So each number 10 is 0.010. So we're going to start going all the way around and we look. So this will actually be 8, there's 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. So this would be 8, 9 or 0.089. So our total measurement would be 3.589 for this one. In this demonstration, we'll be using a pair of dial calipers to measure the inside dimension of a part. Measuring the inside dimension of a part is extremely similar to measuring the outside dimension of a part, with the exception that we use a different set of jaws. The jaws used for the inside diameter are the jaws that are located at the top of the dial calipers. We take our measurement the same way, with the exception of the jaws, by bringing the slide out to the approximate size of the part, using the thumb wheel for the fine adjustments, making sure that it is equally doing partial rocks, and then we will take the same measurement that we did using for the exterior dimension of the part. So this particular measurement is 4 inches. So 4 is our first number. We didn't quite make it to the 5 line, so it'll be 4.4. Then we go to our dial, and our dial shows 912. So our measurement is 4.492 for this part. In this demonstration, we'll be using a pair of digital calipers to measure a part. Digital calipers are extremely similar to analog calipers or dial calipers, with the exception that they have a digital screen that gives you your fine graduations. To use a pair of digital calipers, we start by cleaning them just like we did with the dial calipers. So what I like to do is use a lint-free cloth and wipe down the jaws. Then I close them just like we did before, and we confirm that they are zeroed. Something that we want to look for on this is the negative sign. There's basically just a negative sign, and if there's a negative sign, it means that it's actually past 0. So this one is actually reading 0.0800 to the negative. So the way that we zero these is we touch the red button once briefly, and then it zeroes it. So now we have zeros across the board. Now, these are capable of reading both inches and millimeters. To do that, you have this button here that when you press it, it goes from inches, and if you hold it, it'll change over to millimeters. So we're going to be measuring in inches today, so I'm going to bring it back to inches. So measuring the part, we roll it out just like before, and we're just going to measure the lip of this particular part. So we're going to take it just like before, we're going to give it a little rock, and we're going to pull this up. Now, the great thing about these are all that we have to read is the screen. So the actual measurement of this part is actually 0.2545. There's nothing else that you have to do other than read the screen. So for another example, let's measure the inside diameter. If you recall, the inside diameter, we're going to use these jaws right here. So going back, confirming that we're at 0, we're going to open it up, and we're going to make our measurement using our thumb wheel to confirm that we've got a good fit. Bring it up, and we can see now there is a scale, there's a rule, so it actually shows that we have 4 inches, but we can disregard all of this. Looking at just the digital display, it shows that we are 4.4940. So there is our actual measurement, 4 inches, 0.4940. Whenever you're done, make sure that you shut off your digital calipers or they will go dead.